welcome back to Opally Hour. So today we are on day 5 of the Holo Magic City model build. So yesterday we did this and along with a few other bits and pieces. So this one wasn't really a problem. It's not overly as even as I'd like. The blue one really should have been over a little bit, but it's okay. The cape worked out to be kind of cute, really. It's not quite fastened at the back, but you're not gonna see it when it hangs. I think it hangs. This one was fine. I corrected the book situation. I'll explain that in a minute. So the book I borrowed, I was able to put back. I didn't mess with any of the gems, just let those be. And the one that frustrated me the most, this, I have done a correction. So some of it was on them because of those stickers. But moving past that frustration, evidently, this one and this one and that one, none of them were meant to have a frame. So I had missed that there were 2 other pictures, both of which had a frame, which is this one and this one. So this frame broke when I took it off, but I have rectified it all and it looks a lot better. I had just missed the 2 pictures, but I had the frames out, so I think it's a lot better. So moving on to today, let's bring in what we need. Okay, the only stickers I think we have for today are the butterflies, which is rather unfortunate because they're rather small. And they're on black backing, which would be fine if they be stickers, but I'm not going to complain about the stickers today. Did enough of that yesterday. So I have cut them out best I could. They're not totally symmetrical or anything like that, but they should do the job. So they are the only things. So this is where I come to if you don't like things like taxidermy, even though you see it a lot in the museums, then just be aware of that. We will be needing both of these that we made yesterday, by the way, so we will be needing those, and we have lots of other pieces including some wires, all 3 different types of wires. They have the strangest colours for them, and lots of beads and some green. So let's get this moved into sight. Now, another disappointment, and I'll get this out of the way so I don't have to mention it again, is when they show these beads, and I've seen them in others, they are beautiful and colourful. You've got purples, you've got pinks, you've got blues. I have, yeah, okay, done with my complaining. Right, first of all, we are going to take a large one of these and this little pot thing, and we are going to make a flower using some of this. So I'm going to keep with using the tacky glue. I think it seems to have worked quite well for me. And maybe I can use the B7000. I feel sad not to use it because I know it's a really good glue, but it just hasn't been so good to me. Probably because I'm a messy worker or something. Alright, so let's get a little bit on here like we have done before. And I have a stick that I have somewhere. I have my tweezers to hand. Several tweezers, my stick, and what we're going to do is we are going to get some of this greenery. So you're meant to put it onto the metal piece. I'm actually just going to put it inside here. It does dry clear, as you saw by the other bits and pieces that I used it on. So I'm just going to use it in here, and you don't need that much of it. So I'm probably going to cut this down because you don't want it to be too full. Get the glue on my scissors. I think that's the only thing we need the green for today. Sweet. Come back out. I've got paint on me, so I'm painting another project at the moment as well. Okay. And then, once you're happy with it, we are going to just turn it upside down onto there, and it will dry a nice clear colour, she says. Hoping brown. These should be fine. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue around the edge here and marry the 2 up. goes upside down, and that can go to one side to my drying paper. And it should, you're going to have to trust me on this, it should look absolutely fine. By the time we finish this video, it should be clear and all stuck together. There you go, mate. Right, next we are using these two boards, and we're making two of these. And sometimes I think this is where I go wrong. So we are going to be using two beads, one on top of each other. So I'm going to get a pin for this, which I wasn't that organised. And we are going to put one in here, and it's going to go on one side of here. This before I get the pin involved. And we're going to do this 4 times, so we're going to have 2 on each. So why do you need the pin, you say? You'll see, I say. There is a reason. It's all about lining up. Whether it works or not, it's a whole nother story. I've made these assumptions previously, and then when you come to do it, it's like, that didn't work at all. But on a positive, it will work. I knew that was going to get stuck in there because I didn't really have a hold on it. So it doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as you've got it about middle and towards the ends, like so. This one needs to go in a bit and up there. Okay, and one more for this particular part. And we are working on a display rack. This is liquid medicine thing sounded so much more cool, didn't it, from yesterday? It was rather unfortunate. Okay, now let's see if I can do this how I want to. So take your pin, dip it in your glue so that it gets the end of it, a bit like you'd be using tweezers, gluey. And then what you want to do is you want to pop it inside the other one so that the two of them line up, and then remove your pin like so. Like so, she says, as she gets stuck to it. Okay. And the same with this one. I mean, I guess technically you don't have to use the pin in the glue. You just want one double one on either side. And these are going to hold spheres. Right, save me getting stuck to it. Let's get the tweezers stuck. There we go, no problem. Right, let's leave those to dry for a moment. We will be needing them back quite quickly. Although I might just make the next stage and then come back to it. We are going to need this little fella, and we're going to need our blue one. We are going to need the 2 gold wires, so this one here and this one. So this, and there is a measure on the board, needs to be 20 centimeters. However, because I'm a rebel, what I'm going to do is put my beads on. So I'm going to put my blue one on. I've got yellow paint all over me. Thought I'd got it all off. When you see the project, you'll be like, oh, that's what she was painting while doing this. Some projects just need more paint than others, right? Okay, so put them about in the middle-ish, followed by one of these each, one on one side and one on the other. So at the moment all we're doing is lining it up, and then we're going to measure it out. So it needs to be 20 millimeters, so 2 centimeters from each end. So I'm going to get my glue ready. So that's how long the wire is going to be. So I need some glue, oops, around here on this one. And all I'm going to do is push down the red one onto here, and then I'm going to turn it around. Sectors, what do I call them? Spheres? They're not spheres, I think sectors. I'm going to do exactly the same on the other end. So about the 2 centimetre, 20 millimetres mark. Let's pop in some glue, and then we'll cut this once it's had a chance to dry. Push it down to there, and it's still 2 centimetres. And before I move on to the next stage of that using the other wire, I'm going to let those dry for a moment, and we are going to move on. So next we have to do, let's see a picture. So it's this one here, and this one. So both of these are going to have our butterflies. I'm not soldering inside, I'm really not. And they are going to have our small, if there's more than one, yes, frames like so. And this is going to have the butterflies in them, just like a museum. So probably going to need to get a bit more glue soon. So just paint around the edge to put your frame in. And again, I'm probably going to let that dry before I mess with those butterflies. So I have lots of things drying today. But before we conclude this and move on to the next one, I'll get this one finished. It's easier to put it for editing video notes, so people who just want to see how a certain thing is made, they can just scroll to it. Makes life a bit easier, doesn't it? Yesterday I couldn't do that because I was so all over the place. So use the better looking one. This one had some of the wood removed when it came out the form, so I'm just going to put that side down, and we're going to leave that to one side for a moment. It's not going to be long because they need to get working on it. What else do I need to do for this? Okay, we need to make some boxes. So we have 2 of these on top of each other, and we need to do this twice, and those are going to go on here, and they're going to hold those beautiful looking stones. No sarcasm, nothing. No, not me. New day. I'm actually fine. I tried to do the dragon run again. You remember probably about a month or so ago I started a dragon run, and it was the marble didn't go through the plastic, and then the wood broke, and I got it all mended, and I was hoping to give it another go. Got the marble sorted, just drilled out the hole for it a bit more, and unfortunately the wood piece that I had mended went and broke in a totally different place, and by then it would have been just more glue holding it together than actual anything else really than wood. So I'm getting them on the paper first. You could do it the other way, you could get the 2 wood pieces together first, but that's the way I'm going to do it. Come off me. Now it's going to catch the other side because I put my thumb straight in the glue. So like so. And this I will probably make straight away because it's not too challenging. Okay. We have some tables to do for today as well, so but those look really straightforward. I mean, I have not seen so many straightforward tables. Okay, so get the stick. And I just got these from Amazon, by the way. I can't remember what they were called. I think you kind of use them for nails, if you want to do your nails. My bit of paper's falling off the back of this one. It's got very crooked. Oh, it's still very crooked. Even more crooked now. There we go. Okay, just going to drop another one of these on top. I feel like it should have a little bit more glue. Okay, like so. Just marry it up. with that. It'd be just as easy probably to dunk the frames in the glue, really. Especially, like I say, it does dry clear. Whether it will on that dome or not, we'll find out, huh? It'll probably be okay. Might be asking a lot of it, but it should be okay. Alright, and then we are going to use our beautiful beads, and we want to put in 8. It says the shapes, sizes and colours of 8 of these are at random. Yes, yes they are. Okay. Then for this piece, oh, come on, gold one, gold looking one, amber looking. Oh, this one doesn't want to escape. So we just want about 4 in each, but I'm sure we could use more. I don't think they get used for anything else. So being I don't have lots of pretty colours, we'll do the best we can. How about that? Let's see. Pop you in, you're a nice glass colour one. Brown one there. Nice amber looking one can come on this one because it needs a bigger stone. And this one can have the smaller amber one. Maybe something like so. Not next to it though. It's like a slither, isn't it? Maybe I should have that towards this side or something. And get this white one up a bit more on end so it can actually be seen when we place it finally. Okay, you're keen to go in there, so let's get you in there. You can go in here, you're a nice big one. Oh, this one's quite kind of at least pretty-ish. It's got a different colour top to it, so let's put that in the middle of the first one that I've been doing. Only if I can get it. It's playing chase with me. Okay, so I think I've got more than 4, but that's okay. I'd love to have had purple ones. I really do quite like the colour purple. Oh, that's the name of a movie. And this one doesn't have enough glue at the bottom, I can see that, so just dunk that in. When you end up with something like that, it will be okay. Purples and pinks would have been better, but it'll be okay. Alright, so that's done. Next we are going to make a little pot, and it's a bigger one, this one. So we are going to put on, I'm going to use my pin again, one of these. And one of these. That's just so those two lined up because the rest doesn't really matter. Probably would have been easier to have done this. Okay. And then put that through like so. When you're happy, put it up again and stick to that paper. I saw that. So I fiddle with this for a second, push this over. I see my butterfly just went in the glue. Oh man, defeated what I just did. Right, let's get them on there. That's what I get for playing with it. Okay. move this butterfly out too. Should just let one piece dry before putting the other one on. I was thinking I was being clever. Really, really not so much. Not this time. It worked for the scepter holders, but not for this. This really just doesn't want to go on there. I should use another one and teach it a lesson. Gosh. I was going to say leave it with me for another hour, but we might get there. If I don't get there soon, I don't leave it with me. No. Okay, leave it with me. Okay, that's to one side drying. So what we're going to do is put our frame together very quickly. Then do our butterflies and finish off these scepters, and they will both need to dry for a few minutes. So let's see, how do they want us to do this? Doesn't really say what a good way or a bad way is. Put some dry glue on the end. So I'm just gonna pop these in here. Wrong piece. Right. Just using wood glue for this, so it does take a minute or two to dry. Nice and easy to come off though. And put that on there, along with the other one, and they are symmetrical. Haven't done any painting or anything to this. I wonder if I should have. Then put some glue on our little shelf here. And put that on down here with the ebony. It's really loose fitting, guys, so it's fine. Sometimes when they're tight fitting, it's quite often easier to do it from one side than the other. And again, I'm just going to put it on this. I was thinking about putting it on the main frame, but we will do it this way. And then we'll leave this to dry for a minute while we get on with the other two things. Come on, you can do it. Okay, over to the drying side. Let's straighten you up a bit. It's got a bit of a wonkier shelf. Right. So, do you last. So what we're going to do is get rid of the wood glue. Now if you had stickers, this is probably a lot easier method than what I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to think about how to do this. So what you want to do is they're just going to go in here. So I'm just going to use a bit of tacky. The tacky's starting to dry up actually. And take each of your butterfly wings and meet it somewhere in the middle so that it goes onto the edge of the frame, so something like that. So if this, again, like I say, if it was stickers, probably a little bit easier, but I think we've got this. Because it probably would be in one piece, whereas I actually had to cut this out. The one that I'm fearing cutting out, which I know is a sticker, is cats. We have 2 or 3 cats to make, and I have a feeling that those aren't going to be easy to cut out because they are stickers. But I actually did put in a complaint about this model yesterday, actually, after my frustration, and they want me to send it back in order to get a refund on it, and it's like, well, I've started making it now. That wasn't the point really, it was more like this should not have happened, but it's what it is, right? It's not like I can start sending it back once I've made it. This backing on here went very crooked as well, but it's too late. I don't know, maybe it was the same one. I don't think it was, I just probably missed it. Oops. Come on, off the tweezers. And there you go. I think those will look alright. Like I say, if you don't like that sort of thing, it's just think of you going to a museum. When you go to a museum, you see it all the time. But if you avoid it, then I don't know what to say. I haven't got anything really. Okay, what we're going to do with our thin wire, before we cut all this apart and everything, and hope that this works, by the way, is wrap the thin wire around it and cut it off. Probably do it with scissors. I'm going to do it with a tool because I don't have a tool. Push that back down because it had moved. And do exactly the same with this side. So just go down and you can get started. Why did it work on the other one and not this one? I don't have the answers. And then back up to tie it on there. Might need a bit more glue to hold it back down, so I kind of moved everything out of the way, and we won't be needing that glue anymore. I don't think there's enough glue on here. Maybe a little. Okay, and that's that. And those are going to go on those little stands that we just made with the 3 beads on each strip. So, but I want that to, I think we'll be okay. We could do this. Come back here, guys. We're only going to need the red one for this particular build. But we will be needing the blue one. Actually, might be today. I can't remember. If not today, very soon. There's a red one. And the blue one. And I think that actually worked really well. So I'm going to get a bit more glue here. I'm going to need it anyway. The only downside of the tacky, like I said yesterday, is just such a big nozzle really. So it comes out quite fast. Just straightening it up. Don't know how to do this. Maybe turn this up. And you want the bead end, try and get it a bit straighter, towards the higher end of the beads, so something like so, really, something like so. Got shaky hands. And then don't move it. You might be better off using super glue on this part. That was okay. You know what I should do is I got a tiny bit of metal over. Maybe I should poke it in the hole up here. There you go, that would be a good idea. Or would it? I do want to go and make something else today, honest. It's not even like this one's the one going to be used. Okay. side. All we have to do is rinse and repeat. I feel the tears. No, I'm alright actually. This has been quite pleasurable compared. Look at that, first time. Use a new tweezer just in case. Okay, I'm going to pop that just literally on the board. So this is all done and we are ready to put everything onto the frame. So I'm going to give this a good few minutes for everything to take, and then we will start filling up the frame with various bits and pieces. Frame's actually, the wood glue's taken quite quickly, so that's nice. So give me 5 minutes, a few seconds for you, and we will make a start. Okay, it's not totally dry, but it should be okay. So I'll start at the bottom. First of all, we want to put in our rocks. Only going to need one of these for this. Might need the other one for the next step actually, can't recall. Same as the blue sceptre, I'm looking at it now and I think I might need it. Let's use this one with a little bit of slightly different colours. So that goes on here. Then you want one of these both sides, so one on this side and then one, turn it around. So I'm guessing you're going to be able to see this rack on both sides, your display rack on both sides. So these are the ones we made yesterday. So labels facing outwards as I drop it, and it goes the other way, of course. Okay, and then this one, and again this one doesn't really have a label, but I don't want the join showing at the front either, so pop that in there. It's actually easier said than done. And push the rock formation in a little more. Okay, so that's how that is looking, like so, and then turn it around and you have the other one. Okay, and then next shelf we have one of the picture frames, the one which is more bluey, so this one on here facing this way, and the other one on the other side facing the other way, and the blue, what's in between? Okay, so on one side you're going to have this and this blue one, so let's get those in, and on the other side it's going to be different. So let's just get glue on the whole thing, like so. So on the first side you just have this on here, which goes, it doesn't go, it butts up with the next level basically. And this one here, my little problem child. There might be always one like that. Then turn it around, and now we go for difference. We'll have a big display here. We'll have the other picture. So I need a bit more glue. Next to it like so. Kind of looks alright, doesn't it? And a book from last time. Now my sticker started to come off one side, so I'm going to use the other side. And that's just going to go on here. I don't know why one gets book and one doesn't. That's just going to go on here. pretty sure that's what the photo shows me. There's an element of doubt, but like so. And then turn it around and it'll be like so. And followed by our red scepter on the top here. In the middle, facing, they have it facing, if you've got this facing you, like so. My neighbour over the road has 2 little dogs, which you quite often hear barking, and they have a little dog walker that comes once a week. They're only little dogs, they probably don't need more than that. And only one went out for a walk today, so I hope the other one's okay. Right, I sound like the nosy neighbour. Maybe I am. Maybe that's me. And that's where we are, so the book can go back in rest, and so can that. And then the other side is like so, and again the book can go back and rest. Book picture, which they don't really want to. So let's put a little bit of tacky on there. And on the back of this one and this one, so that we can get more to just lie back a bit, lie back and chill. And I could move this one over so it matches the other one. This book really doesn't want to go back. Okay, and that is the display rack complete. And I have to say, I think that looks really nice. I really like these scepters actually. I think those really kind of make it, don't they? And you can see it from both sides. And it looks good. Right, only thing that I have is my little pots here, don't want to stay on. Okay, that can go over there. Next we are going to do a warm zone. Now I did have a sticker on this, so I am going to do something slightly different. That's not the sticker, it's this one here. So I will cut that one out, but what I'm going to do is put this on here the opposite way, because you want it on the outside, and then cut it out because it's a small hole, and it's going to be, what you want is this on the outside, like so. And they do this, when do they do this? Is that on the small one? It's on the small one. Yeah, it's on the small one. So I'm going to get that done so I can just cut it out here. I think it'd make it a bit easier, especially as it's a sticker. So let's get going on that. This is where the sticker all raises, but I know it doesn't match. So it'll be like so. And give that a few minutes to dry, or at least take, so I can cut it out. I also need to, oh no, I've got my blade here. Okay, what else do we need to make for this? Anything else we need to make? Just actually have to make the stand, so I just have to cut out these other bits and pieces. And this is going to go on the other side of it, which is why I want to do this bit first, and I'll show you what I mean when we get to it. I don't think we're going to be doing much on this, but we do need to have, see that little tab there? I'll let it show on this side. I'm going to need to cut a hole in this piece then to make it work. Okay, we are going to need this, and we will need these, because, why do we need these? Oh, they get stuck on the side, so maybe we'll do that. I'll get those cut out and we'll stick them on the side while we're waiting for this to dry enough. And it's going to go on, let's see, I'll work it out which side it needs to go on. Okay, I'll cut out, what I'm going to do is put them on this side. Don't think it really matters because they're both the same, so if it doesn't work one way, it'll work the other. Where's my glue? And then the rest of this will be all put together with wood glue, actually, except for that one sticker. And even then, if you use wood glue for it, it'd work fine. It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, so grab our little stickers. So this is the top where, yes, this is the top, and this is the bottom. So let's see how they want them shaped. So this one goes on here, I believe. They're just posters, plonked posters, and then this one, it's probably the other way round. I can't, you know, the writing's a little bit small for me to be able to tell. So you can put them, you can design them how you want, really. Now these were just cutouts, I think, so I think we're okay with the fact that it might split. I think we're alright. And even if they lift up a bit, it's posters, it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's see if this is taken enough for cutting it out, because I don't want to leave it too long because of I might also need a new blade. Yeah, I need a new blade. Fortunately it's a sticker, so we can lift this up, put that one in. Okay, mended. Right, I'm going to go and get a new blade and give this a little bit longer. I might have been too keen to get going on it. Alright, but new blade is anyway. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, let's give this another go. I've kind of trimmed the outside, so that's been okay. It's difficult because you're going through a sticker and the paper, and you don't want the sticker to come off the backing paper for a change, right? So just, if this is your problem, just hopefully you can take your time and go through both. And I feel like it's going through both because I'm kind of catching the board, so I'm hoping it's going through both. And of course, if you've got the sticker that works, then all you'd be doing is peeling and sticking, and you would be avoiding this step. Oh, almost cut my nail too. And this one's the one that wants to come off. A new blade should hopefully do the job. And that is kind of where we are. So that's not too bad at all. It's pretty good recovery, right? Okay. I am pretty happy with that as a recovery for a problem. Okay. Oh, let me knock everything. That's me moving my chair to get into a better position for the next stage. Alright, so done that. We are then going to turn it over like I have, and we are going to put this backing on. So I'll show you something funny in a moment. It's not surprising, but it's quite amusing. I find it amusing. And it's about this piece. It's about this piece in particular. I probably don't need anywhere near the glue that I've just put on this, by the way. Well, most of it's gone there anyway, and I'm not getting much else. This is not a sticker. Okay. So before I move on, I'll show you what I mean. I will show you the book. Okay. So we have our grey picture, like so, which they also have, which is here. And then all of a sudden it's pink, as is the main picture. How did that happen, we ask? Alright, by the by, right, wood glue. So we want our one with the stickers to be on this side. Use that potatoes bottles are brilliant. Shame I couldn't get it to work with the tacky, but hey. And we also want the tab to be towards the top. So it will go in like so. Stay. And then do the same with the other side. I mean, of course, you know, they get you to put the stickers on after the event. Put that on the end. Don't need that on the end. Need it on the front surface. Gosh, how many times have I done that, huh? Boy. Let's just start again. Wood glue, fortunately, comes off very well and easily. And then we are going to put the back on, and for the back we do have a little bit of an unusual shape here. So this is just going to slot in, and you want this slot thing at the back. I don't know if we're putting a light in this at a later date, or what the slot thing's for otherwise. This is almost finished, by the way. There's one ornament to put on here, which is that other sceptre, which will probably show quite nicely, being its very bland on colours. And then turn it over, or wait for it to dry, more sensible. Oh, I was going to say I can't even get it in now. That is the thing, it's allowing time to dry everything, and you want the fireplace towards the bottom, like so. So I just make it again. Making sure that this is actually correct, you know. Actually wondering if this needs to go, I think this needs to go facing outwards. It does. All my wood glue has probably now come off actually. Doesn't take much. Okay, have your picture facing outwards is the answer. Don't do what I almost did. And in which case then that roof is on wrong. Okay. I almost got it wrong. I would have been very perturbed. And then I'll give it a minute to dry. Obviously, I did not. And this one is going to go in that little tab right at the front, so we want it like this. I actually don't know what it's for. I was thinking maybe tomorrow we'll spice things up and we do a part of the structure. You know how many times I've made things like this? How on earth can it be so problematic? How on earth, you ask yourself? Right, let me give it a minute, and then I put this in and the sceptre on that, and we will move on to the last one, which is some tables, which is, in comparison, should be quite straightforward. Well, this is quite straightforward. It's just me. All right, I won't be a mo. Okay, it's had about 5 minutes. Oh, hold on. Okay, where was I when I got rudely interrupted? All right, what we're going to do is we're going to put on this little shelf. Pins got stuck to me. So a blob here, probably a blob there will be enough. One there, and then we'll quickly make these tables because that's what I planned for today. We'll call it a day. I wish I had painted the outside of the shelf here. It's not totally dry either. And this is, you know, all their things are so loose to put in, and then I have one which is so very tight. Almost in. Alright, leave it with me. Alright, I ended up putting on with a bit of super glue. The tab broke. I mean, it was just the Holo was not gonna pan. So then last thing we do with this is put the scepter on where it's going to face away from the poster side. Put that to dry while we do the tables quick, which we'll also need wood glue for, and I'm going to use super glue. And this just goes on here. Let me just make sure it's roughly even, so it looks something like so. Just pushing that back a bit if I can. Don't like the full raw finishes on all of this, by the way. I should have painted it, but I didn't. I don't think that far away ahead in my head. Oh, I shouldn't have messed with it. It's going to be super glue for the wind too, because my scepter is falling. Right, I'll leave this with me. Okay, and that's what we have, how it roughly looks. It's definitely not perfect. Okay, tables, let's get moving on these. Right, first of all, you have 2 globes, one of which we're using and the other one we are not, both of which need to go on this stand. Only thing I've got is, I'm just going to do the one that we're going to use, which is the green one, and the other one I'm not going to do yet, just because I want to check my beads, because I know we're going to need one for a globe, which this would be quite pretty for, with the red and everything, but right, I am mainly going to use super glue for the purposes of speed on this. So let's make our 2 tables. We'll go in there. On the tabletop. There you go, crooked on me. Out of the way. This model, honestly, do it upside down, be easier. Okay, on the other table, I would do the same. Just make it upside down. If I had more time, guys, I'd use wood glue. It's normally my go-to for most of this type of thing. I'm not a big super girl kind of girl, a super glue kind of gal. And if I have another bead that will work as a globe, I just can't remember seeing one, then I'll use that. And these 2 tables, very simple. I should have taken. You will put, stand up straight. You'll put the bead on one and the cage on the other. This one doesn't want to be very straight. And I want to stick to it. Okay. Colour came off the globe. Okay, with super glue you can move it around as long as you're quite quick at doing so. Gonna now have blue on me. Should have just done this in the first place. Oh wow. Do you think it's because I'm trying to rush? Maybe. Stay there. And this one, so I see my bead roll off. We'll go on here, and I'll check the other one if I need to do it. I'll just get done. So it's got a little door on it. Which way it's meant to face? Forward, I think. Which is a really cute ornament, by the way. Not very straight, but it is a cute ornament, and I will work on whether I need to do this or not. So that is it for today. Give this a moment to set up, and we will go over what we got coming up and decide if we're going to do it in the right order or not. All right. So that brings us to the end of today. So I did check, put this one together. I have another bead, not the colour that they say, but I do have another one. So I think it'd be fine. So these are reasonably stabilised now, and we have this, and it actually looks really good considering the trials and tribulations on it. And really happy again with our double-sided display unit, which kind of looks rather nice as well, and that has all stabilised. Very happy with my sceptres. I think they look really cool actually, yeah, that's where I am on it. So decisions. Do I want to carry on making small pieces, or can I get away with moving to some of the bigger things? And have I built anything for the bigger things? You know, I don't know. I don't think I have built anything for the bigger things. All right, I guess we'll just carry on as we are. We are currently on page 10, halfway down. Next we will have then a cupboard which has like a I can't think what it's called, like a dream catcher hanging from it, which has got an eye on it, pretty eerie looking. We also will be using, I believe this globe will be used on it as well. So that kind of works. This one's a bit clearer, but I think I used the clear one on the thing we made yesterday or the day before, whichever. So doesn't really matter. I mean, they're very similar anyway. And we will also be using tomorrow the book that we had to make this. Basically, it's a window display. The problem with this model, from what I have read so far, is they will get you to put the walls up without attaching anything, and then try and get you to put, when the room's almost complete and got all the walls, to put pictures on the walls and things like that. Obviously, I kind of want to avoid that because I think that's a bit daft. So the aim tomorrow: a cupboard, a display table, which is quite nice, that will use our other stone tray that we have down here. So these two spare things that we have here will both be used. We're going to make a clock, which I believe is a sticker, and a little table. Looks like a table. I don't know where that is, so that will be interesting. Oh, that's because we've got to make it. But it doesn't show me how. Maybe I made it the day before. Maybe it's another one. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe it's 2 books. It could be lots of maybes. I will have to look into it. Anyway, that's what we will be doing tomorrow. So I'm going to say the 2 things. The next one is a newspaper rack, which doesn't look too difficult. I'm just saying 2 things because I seem to push myself a little bit and then be rushing, and it makes videos really long. So thank you very much for watching. Do leave any comments. If you would like to like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. It does help me to keep bringing you more content. I have quite a few fun things on the way. I will be trying another, as disappointed I was with the Sunshine Town, as in how the pieces fit together. I will be doing another Roku one at some point. But yes, most of all, do take care of yourselves. And that is the most important thing, because you are worth it. Take care, guys. Bye bye.